Hi, it's Lynn, and it is a week of some very specific stretches and exercises. And I want to spend today with this video to talk about why we're going to work on these different things and how they're interrelated. So what I find is people who have plantar fasciitis, which is really tight, the fascia in the plantar part of the foot is really tight. People who have tight calves, people who have tight hamstrings, people who have lower back pain. All that stuff is connected. And you can't fix plantar fasciitis without addressing the other stuff. You can't fix a lower back without addressing the feet and the calves and the hamstrings. They're all connected, and that's because all the muscles on the bottom of the foot cross the ankle and attach to the calf muscles, which cross the knee and attach to the leg muscles, which run up into the pelvis and pull on the pelvis and the spine. So if these parts are tight, then there's going to be other issues that show up. Part of why these are tight is shoes that are very stiff, and we're going to do a whole week on shoes, so I'm not going to get into that entirely right now. And part of why these are tight is because we spend so much time sitting, and when you're sitting, we often don't just sit, we sit and we're pulled under. So this lower back is getting pulled on. These muscles are contracted and being pressed on by the chair. And then we also have the fact that shoes have a little bit of heels. That makes the calves always tight and contracted. There's a lot of shortening through the back of the body. So we want to find out ways to open that up. And the very first one we're going to work with is actually starting at the foot. So having said all of that, I want you to get a ball. Now this is a high bounce ball, a super ball. You could use a tennis ball. It tends to be a little on the big side and a little bit soft. I wouldn't go as small as a golf ball. Those are going to be too small, too hard. But a super ball that's maybe 1.5 to 2 inches across, like racquetball size, that's a good size. A racquetball would work, a handball would work. And what I want you to do is put the ball on the floor, put your foot on the ball. Now, holding on to things for balance is a good idea. If this becomes too hard on you, do this sitting down. You don't take as much weight in it. But what I want you to do is right now, do you see how I have the ball under it's called the ball of the foot, where these calluses are, so that my toes can hang over it. And I'm just going to hang out here for right now. I'm going to let those toes reach down over it. And then I'm going to start to roll my foot on the ball. And I want to roll and cover the whole thing, so I don't want to go too fast. I'm going to go from my big toe all the way to my heel, and I'm going to run back and forth over that line. Then I'm going to change that after a couple times, and I'm going to go from my second toe down to my heel. So I'm running these channels almost in my foot. I'm rolling, and I'm pressing, not so hard that I cry, but I can feel it. And I'm doing the third toe now, I'm moving on to the fourth toe. So a couple rolls of each toe to the heel and then to the pinky toe. What we're trying to do is cover the whole bottom of the foot, because these bottoms of the feet are so tight, and part of that is the feet aren't very mobile. And I can't remember if we've talked about foot mobility, but this is really, really important. Waking these feet up and getting these joints to work and getting the bottoms of the feet not to be so tight is going to actually lead to better overall health for a variety of reasons. But we're starting with just the feet, and after you do one foot, you would do the other. Again, I start by just letting my toes rest hanging over it. I can put a little weight on that and see if my toes will relax down. They should actually extend down. Toes get pushed up. Again, that's going to be in our shoe week. I promise we're going to do a shoe week. And then you start rolling and you do the other foot. So this is one of those things that you could spend many, many minutes on every day, or you could do it before you put your shoes on, or you could do it at the end of the day before you go to bed. I keep a ball in my bag with me, and you can do this at your desk if you're somewhere where you can slip your shoes off. You don't want to do this with shoes on. It's useless with shoes on. But you're just trying to cover as much of the foot as possible, and it's a massage. It's the cheapest foot massage ever. There are numerous ways to roll your foot on the ball. I'm using those channels because it gets people to not avoid an area. That's one of the trickiest parts. So we're going to work through the feet. We're going to work through the calves. We're going to work through the hamstrings. over the course of the week, and you're going to start to see how those are all connected and how tightness in one leads to tightness in another. All right, have a good time with that. Find a ball, roll your feet.